What's in Store. I'm News 8's Natalie Kucko, and on this episode, we are getting an exclusive first look at Duncan Bright Furniture. They have been a family legacy for nearly 100 years in the central New York, Syracuse area. This move to Rochester has been years in the making. Let's take a look inside. All right, so we are inside Duncan Bright, the first store in the Rochester area based in Syracuse. I'm joined by owner Joe Bright. Joe, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you, Natalie.
Ahead of the grand opening coming up this Friday, right?
Correct. We open our doors at 9 a.m. on Friday, April 10th. We're doing a ribbon cutting Thursday night at 5:30 p.m. Where we'll serve champagne, cut a ribbon, and celebrate, but doors open for sales on Friday, April 10th.
A lot of momentum and also a lot of renovation here. If we take a walk through just to do a full tour, you have put in so much effort in renovations, right? This used to be a Burlington coat factory. Now it's fully transformed.
Yes. I mean, the building structure was in pretty good shape, but we had to make it a furniture store. So fresh coat of paint on the walls, repairing tile, of course, making it a Duncan Bright furniture store. So we put some oversized graphics on the walls. We have a big space, and we always, in each one of our stores, we like to show our history. We've been around 99 years, so we put this timeline graphic up. I bought the business for my dad in 2020, and you can kind of see Duncan Bright's history by looking at our wall here.
It's amazing, almost 100 years of history, and your great-grandfather started the business?
Correct, yep. He started in 1927. The store was much smaller, it was only 5,000 square feet. But we've been in downtown Syracuse for 99 years, same location, and he expanded the physical building, and then now it's an entire city block in downtown Syracuse.
What's the secret to success? I think so often across Western New York and across the country, we see these closures, right, all the time of value furniture stores. But a family-owned legacy, you have been able to make it work. What's the secret there?
Well, a couple things. One, we like to own our properties. If you own your property, you can do your own maintenance. You can make sure the building looks nice. People want to have a nice shopping experience. And if you lease a property, you're kind of at the mercy of your landlord. So one, that's really important. Two, you kind of have to be the best. I'm not going to pat myself on the back and say we're the best yet, but you have to have the best selection and the lowest price. So that's what we're trying to bring to Rochester. We find the biggest building we can find, and we make sure we have the best price, because even if you loved our family history and our local business, why would you pay more with Duncan Bright? We make sure we have the lowest price for every customer.
If we look at the wall here, you took over 2020, it was?
Correct, yes.
Right around the pandemic,
yes.
So that probably was no small feat for you.
Yes, I bought the business January 1st, 2020. Had to close the doors 2 months later, but it all worked out. We survived, thrived, and opened a second store in 2022.
Let's take a look at just sort of the modernization from generation to generation. You know, how do you make sure you preserve what's tried and true, but also bringing a new look, a new feel to your store?
Yeah, I mean, especially in the last 25 years with e-commerce and selling on your website, you have to be very dynamic there. And so, of course, we sell on our website. We show our product lineup on our website. Customers are pre-shopping or completing purchases on our website. So that would be how you have to be dynamic and adapt to the times in the most important way. But some of the things that have stayed the same, big buildings, wide selection, family business. We've always offered a complimentary interior design service. So you come into Duncan Bright, I've got interior designers on staff. They will make house calls. They'll go to your house. It doesn't cost you anything. And they'll, they're trained professionals that'll say, hey, let me help you accessorize. Here's the configuration I think that will look great in your room. So that's been going on for over 90 years.
That's really great, and all complimentary too as well.
Yeah.
I think important to note, the original storefront in Syracuse has stayed open for all these years.
Correct, yep, that's correct. I mean, except for the brief 2 to 3 month period where we had to close per the state, as you mentioned, for the pandemic. But yeah, we've stayed open 99 years, and we're lucky we've got customers that keep coming back to Duncan Bright. They keep us growing and expanding. And Yeah, I obviously can't take too much credit. I've only owned this store for 6 years, but we've got great customers that keep us in business.
Your business has such a legacy footprint in central New York and the Syracuse area. We're curious, what attracted you to Rochester?
Oh, it's the perfect market for us. So we were already delivering here 3 times a week. We have customers. I reviewed the list. You know, we sent out invites for this grand opening. Many of the names I knew. It's people that lived in Syracuse or grew up in Syracuse. They've moved to Rochester. They want to keep shopping at Dunkin' Bright. So we were already delivering here. And then it's the next logical market. If you go in any direction, Rochester is one we can service out of our current warehouse. And it's the larger city than Syracuse. And then the third thing, I just love this corner in Henrietta, East Jefferson, West Henrietta Road. There's so much traffic, there's so much retail. We could not be more excited to open here.
We've talked about South Town Plaza, which, as we know, living here has certainly seen, a bit of a decline. If you drive through, a lot of the storefronts are vacant. But that hasn't, scared or pushed you guys away at all.
No, it's fortunately our type of business, anchor retail. You can choose a location and customers will come to you. I know it's a little bit, if you build it, they will come, but we're not relying on the customer to walk in from an adjacent storefront and make an impulse purchase for a living room. If you're going to go buy some furniture, usually you plan it, you go visit Dunkin' Bright, and then you might visit an adjacent business to us. So that's a long way of saying we know the plaza has had its struggles, but we bought our property, we bought the parking lot in front of it, we're going to maintain it, we're going to make it look nice. And customers will have a good Dunkin' Bright experience that might, it might be different with the plaza, but what we own, we will make look very nice.
You're planning to make this a destination, I know. Yeah. And while we're here in this section, so not only are you furniture sets, which we'll get to, but also mattresses as well.
Of course, yes. We have 46 mattresses on display. We sell Beautyrest Black, Serta, iComfort Pros. As with our furniture, we try to show so many options that the customer feels like they can come to Dunkin' Bright and find what they need and not have to go to 3 different stores. So we sell mattresses, adjustable bases, and in addition to our furniture lineup.
Yeah, a little bit of everything, which is nice. So as we take the walk through, I mean, it's so organized in here, and we're so lucky to get, the first look, really.
Sure, yeah.
And I know with the grand opening on Friday, so with the move, right, you put 6 months worth of renovations, but how do you make sure that you get all the inventory in here and everything is situated, the way you want it?
Oh my goodness. I wish, I couldn't even pretend that it was me driving that. We've hired 28 people that live in Rochester and some fantastic managers and staff that have unloaded trucks, built the furniture. They were hired for sales, they were hired for the office, but it's all hands on deck being a small local business. They have gotten this store looking fantastic, and all the credit goes to the 28 new hires that we have here in Rochester.
So just about 30 hires, and they're all from the Rochester-area,
Correct,
but
yeah.
attached onto this family brand, right?
Correct, yep. And they have been commuting to Syracuse. When they weren't building furniture, we paid them to commute to Syracuse to train for 6 months.
Wow.
So we'd be ready for our doors to open.
That's pretty cool. All right, so any pieces that you want to highlight? I know right now we're in, the hyper value section where you can get, I think you said, an 8-piece set for a really good price.
Yeah.
Anything you want to highlight?
Yeah, and that's just what we're all about. We want to bring the best values to the customer. This 8-piece living room set, it's an Ashley living room set, $14.99 or even less based on our grand opening sale price, gets you 8 pieces. A sofa, love seat, 3-piece cocktail end table set, rug, lamps, the whole 9 yards. So, thanks for pointing that out, because we want customers to know they will find the lowest price on furniture here in addition to the widest selection.
I'd be remiss if I didn't touch on the current state of our economy. Times are tough for families. And so how have you been able to adapt your business model to the needs of people, and recognizing that, people may not be willing to stretch that extra dollar that much further, especially with the cost of everything else going up right now?
Absolutely. I feel it in my own household, you know, groceries, gas. So, and furniture is often something you can say, oh, I don't need that today. But we have modified our lineup to show more value price points than we have in the past. And it's working. Customers come in, and when they shop at Dunkin' Bright or, you know, compare us to somewhere else, they're finding better values here. And the furniture looks great. We don't sell anything that's low quality, and not, you know, we stand behind everything we sell. So just about changing your floor lineup to reflect what the customer wants to spend on furniture.
We've got everything here from lazy boys to all kinds of couches, futons. You know, where along the way did you expand your profile, I guess, so to speak, to include literally everything you can find right here?
In our history, we've been a large format store since the 50s. My grandfather bought vacant adjacent properties, tore them down, expanded the physical footprint of our downtown Syracuse location. Our second store that we opened in 2022 is a former Macy's, also large format. So since the 1950s, we've been large format, and it does matter in our business. We were talking a little bit about, you know, us compared to single line stores. We sell 80 vendors. The customer can come into Dunkin' Bright, find different price points from different vendors. They can find different styles of furniture as compared to, you know, sometimes you go to a national retailer and you're looking at one brand, one look, one price point. Here you can see it all.
I want to talk about how long you and the family had been eyeing this property, because we look at renovations, okay, 6 months, 2022 expanding in clay, but eyeing Rochester. How long did that take?
Yeah, it took, so we purchased the property, as I mentioned, and that takes a long time. It took 2 years of negotiating for the property, hammering out the details. The town of Henrietta was incredibly supportive, so I had been talking with the town supervisor. I would just stop in unannounced, you know, every couple of weeks. But anyway, it took 2 years to buy the property. We renovated it in five to 6 months. So we started this process back in, I don't know, 2024, early 2024.
Wow.
Yeah.
Takes time, but here we are to the finished product, and I know you'll keep building along the way. Here's the section of dining sets, and really no shortage of style and, you know, different preference here.
Yeah, so what we're in right now is our solid wood Amish-made dining sets. The finish is gorgeous. To get a finish like this on a solid wood set, one, it has to be solid wood, because non-solid wood won't take a finish that's as beautiful as this is, and I promise it's even more beautiful in person than it shows up on a video. But it takes solid wood being the composition of the table, and it takes pretty much hand finishing. Okay, so we do that in bedrooms and dining rooms. We have contemporary dining that comes out of Canada, also solid birch. And very cool looks. I've got a mid-century modern set over there. That's my favorite set, with the green upholstered seats. And of course, like every category, we have value dinettes. You're going to find dining room sets under $1,000. You're going to find dinettes under $400. So counter height, bar height, dining height, buffets. The more space you have, the more you can show. So that's what we're all about.
What's been the reaction from people already in the Rochester area? I know you've already had a lot of foot traffic from Rochester to Syracuse. Yeah. What's been the response now that you're landing this footprint here locally?
It's been so supportive. We haven't even opened yet, and customers have come in. We've already been selling furniture. I don't want to take away from our first day being open, because I couldn't be more excited, but we've not that we've promoted that we're open, but people see our signage on the building. They walked in, asked what's going on, and we've sold furniture, engaged customers, and everybody's really, really positive about it.
Yeah, because the pipeline Rochester to Syracuse, we're only an hour and change away, so that's not too far for people.
I know it. I've been doing that drive a couple times a week at this point. So,
yeah. Wanted to ask you about the signage out front. So for so long and for generations, we have seen the iconic South Town Plaza out there on the marquee. Yep. You guys have taken it over.
Correct. Yep. As part of this property purchase, we did buy that sign, and I think it's I just love that sign. The size of it, the shape of it, the fact that it's three-sided. It's a very cool sign. So we are going to, and I know people are interested, so we're going to make repairs to it. Okay, there had no working power in the sign. So even if we all love the sign, but it was not lit up at night. We're going to light it up at night. We're going to put a fresh coat of paint on it. We're going to, of course, put brand new signage up there. And, I have temporary signage up there now that I think looks great, of course, but that isn't the permanent signage that will go up in a couple weeks.
Wanted to ask you too, when it comes to just the legacy of what everyone, 40, 50 years ago knew this plaza as, what does it mean to you and your family to bring this back to a family legacy destination for people, which, 30 plus years ago, that's what this plaza was?
Well, to me, and I don't want to get nostalgic about it, but in what we do, brick and mortar retail, it's in-person shopping, okay? So you get to come in, you get to interact with designers in person. It's fun, easy to make a click and buy something online, which we can offer you on our website if that's what you want to do. But if you come into Duncan Bright and you come into South Town Plaza, you get to see the furniture in person, you get to interact with somebody in person, and I hope and I know, based on what we do in Syracuse, have a great time doing it.
Awesome. So here we are at the different fabric palette, if you will. So I think this is really cool because you had mentioned anything that people purchase, they can alter the fabric that it comes in, or how does that work?
Yeah. 90% of what we sell, especially in living rooms, you can change the fabric on, okay? Anything that we sell that's actually is how you see it is how it comes, but all of our other lines, including this one, which is England furniture, you can put your own fabric on the furniture. You can choose the pillow fabric. You can customize the living room set in terms of the sectional configuration to fit your room. You can customize often the leg color, nail head trim on the arms. And I think sometimes people hear custom and they think, oh, it's expensive, or they think it's going to take a long time. This company ships in 3 weeks. Okay, 3 to 4 weeks, you can get a custom living room set. And it's fun to come in and put your own fabric on a sectional, choose something that's perfect for your space, and the price points, you would be surprised that it's not going to break the bank.
Talking customization, I mean, it really doesn't get any more focused than this. Like if I'm looking through the palettes here and I want, this shade, and like you said, in a matter of 2 to 3 weeks,
Yep, three weeks. This will show up at our warehouse, and then we call you to set up delivery to your home. So you can put that on your sofa, and then you can choose a pillow fabric to go with it. Natalie, you're probably a better decorator than I am. I rely on my decorators to help us with that. But nice cream. You could choose some green pillows right next to it, and then it's going to match your aesthetic better than, you won't have the same thing as your neighbor, which makes it fun.
If you had to ballpark how many customers come in and choose this option, what would you say? Does that set you apart?
Yep, it's 40%. So 40% of what we sell is custom, okay? So 60% of what we sell is how you see it, is how it comes. This TV stand, it's going to show up looking just like this. You can expect this level of quality, which you can with our custom too, but 40% of what we sell is customers choosing their own fabrics, choosing their own wood species. You can do that on bedrooms and dining rooms. Choose the finish color. Yeah.
Awesome. So we've made it through, I think, a full loop of this store. Are there any points you want to take us to? I think, back here might be interesting, or, you talked about just the different people that you have hired. So where could we expect them to be throughout the store?
If people come join us for our grand opening weekend, which I invite everyone in Henrietta and Greater Rochester to do, they're going to be greeted by fresh faces, people that are local to Rochester, trained interior decorators that will help them shop for a living room and bedroom, dining room, mattress, whatever they need. And then they can shop this wonderful store. We're very proud of it. Took a lot of work, took a lot of time, and we're finally ready to open. So it's an open invitation to anybody who wants to stop by this weekend.
Joe, any key sets that you want to take us to as we finish the loop here?
Sure. It's this vendor is Flex Steel, another custom option. You have over 500 fabrics with them. This is a vendor that many customers have already heard about, and we're a Flex Steel gallery, so we have a bigger lineup than any other retailer in Rochester, really upstate New York. So the furniture is beautiful. It's very, very high quality, and it's a great line for us. So and the price points are fantastic. And on top of that, the next vendor over is made in Indiana. I talked a little bit about how we're made in the USA. We offer a lot of domestically sourced product, but it truly is, you come shop at Duncan Bright, we're supporting American jobs, American factories, and this type of customization and the tailoring, the workers and employees who manufacture in the US are better at that than overseas. So anyway, you get to feel good about supporting American jobs as well.
Awesome. What truly sets you apart from your competitors? Again, we've talked about the closures that we've seen locally, and it feels like a lot of mainstays that maybe weren't family owned have shut down in the last 5 years alone. So what sets you apart?
Yeah, we have the lowest price on furniture. Okay, if you find product here that you also find at our competitors, I promise, simple online check, we'll have the lowest price, best selection. Okay, we get the biggest stores we can possibly get to show you the most options, and we're a family business, and we invest in our properties. We're here to stay. We're not going anywhere, and we make those decisions on a 3-store upstate New York basis, not necessarily nationwide that some of our competitors do, and we plan to do well here in Rochester.
Candidly, to ask you, what's it like having a family business and taking over from your father, your grandfather, great-grandfather?
So it's the best. I mean, I'm just grateful for the opportunity that I had in buying the business for my dad. You might find it funny or interesting. I hired my dad back for a 3rd time. So even though I bought the business from him, he's agreed to help us get this store up and running. So it'll be the 3rd time that he's worked at Duncan Bright since retiring. So it'll be the 4th time retiring. But yeah, it's great. I get to talk with him about the store, business, and relate to him over things.
Bend ideas back and forth. I'm sure that makes for an interesting dynamic to, hire your dad back when he was, so much part of the foundation here too.
Absolutely. It's I'm lucky to have that opportunity, but also he's got a good resume. He's he's worked at Duncan Bright for 28 years, so nobody walks in with that type of resume.
Such a legacy here, now moved into Rochester. So as we wrap up, Joe, just to talk about your ribbon cutting coming up tomorrow. We've been so fortunate to come in and get a behind the scenes first look, but happening tomorrow, you're going to have people here. Anyone's welcome, right?
Anyone is welcome. The doors will be open 5:30 p.m. We're serving champagne, wine. It's just a chance to celebrate getting our retail store open, and I would really enjoy it if we had 500, 600, 700 people here. The more we've got the space, the more the merrier.
So this is going to give folks a first look themselves, right? They can walk around, see what they want to find, that kind of thing?
Sure, yeah, and it won't necessarily be, and if somebody wanted to buy something, I guess we're a retail store, we're not going to tell them no, but it's more about celebrating getting open and having a nice time, and of course they can preview the store and walk around and enjoy a glass of champagne while they do it. Friday the 10th, 9 a.m., will be all business.
9 a.m., bright and early, no pun intended, opening day, and want to talk hours going forward, right? So days of the week and times.
Yep, so we're open 9 to 9 Monday through Saturday, 11 to 6 on Sundays, and we're open 79 hours a week. So we will be open, this plaza will be lit up, the signage will be lit up, and we encourage people to shop anytime that is convenient for them.
Joe, it's got to be so exciting to you to see this vision all the way through. Like you said, purchased the property a few years ago, and now here we are and things are getting off the ground.
Yeah, this is the fun part. Not that renovating wasn't fun, but this is kind of the end of the renovations, the start of the new chapter, which is bringing our brand to Rochester, showing people what we're all about, and celebrating being open.
Joe, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to walk through, again, get that first look behind the scenes. Not often that we can do that ahead of opening, so we really appreciate it. You're going to be open here 7 days a week at South Town Plaza. Grand opening Friday, April 10th. Be sure to check out Dunk and Bright Furniture. So exciting.
Thank you, Natalie. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks so much.
Get the Rochester First streaming app today for everything you love from News 8 On Demand, plus exclusive shows you won't see anywhere else. Search ROC and download for free on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.